Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas. We're live.
Woohoo!
All right.
Jingle bells. Hi.
Who's here?
Rhodey's here. She's a little tired. She just got finished unpacking last night. Well, we want to welcome everybody to this little Christmas Eve live.
Holiday Hangout.
We just wanted to pop on in case there was anybody maybe who was at home and wanted to say hi or just hang out for a little bit. And you guys, of course, can ask us questions about the trip to Germany and Austria.
Oh, yeah, that.
Or we can talk about Christmas traditions. We can talk about memories. We can talk about future aspirations. We have a new year right around the corner.
I believe you just defined the term ask us anything. Hi, Barb. Merry Christmas. Hi, Merry Christmas, Nancy F. from South Louisiana. Yeah, first of all, whoever's in the chat, shout out where you're watching from.
Absolutely.
Let's make the world a slightly smaller place so that we're all together for Christmas.
Always.
Yeah.
So that's the Picker Road family.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Barb.
Oh, but he's...
Of course. Oh, I hope he's doing all right.
Barb, we're sending blessings and prayers.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi, Virginia. Virginia stayed home for Christmas.
Absolutely. There we go. Well, it's warm and comfortable at home always.
Yes. Merry Christmas, Sally.
Sally, good to see you. Good to see everybody.
Yes.
You know, and I also want to welcome everyone who's going to watch us on the replay.
Virginia's watching from Florida.
Oh, there we go.
It's snowing there, right?
And I mean, I know you guys all know us, but for anybody who might be new, I'm Harleen.
And I'm Will.
And off camera is Gary.
And this is Rhodey.
And together we are Picker Road.
Santa Rhodey, just slip a little picking under the tree for me.
Oh my goodness. It's so good to see everybody.
It is really good to be here on Christmas Eve, just hanging out and having a good time, seeing our family that we found along the way on here, which has truly been one of the greatest things about this journey.
It really has. I mean, it has not even been 2 years.
Can you believe that?
And we have this incredible family, our Picker Road family. And it's very exciting to us.
It is.
Because it's what we set out to do. And when something comes to fruition, you know, makes you feel kind of good that maybe you had a good idea and like-minded people joined in.
Absolutely.
So, all right. So we have everyone calling out where they're from. No snow in Florida.
No snow in Florida.
I think we knew that.
Yeah. But there was snow in New Jersey with Barb.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Snow this morning. Oh my goodness.
The closest that we got to snow here in Vegas is I went to the Golden Knights game last night, so there was ice.
And the Knights won.
They won. They're on a hot streak right now. So that's been fun. David and I have been having a blast going to our games and in between all the traveling, of course.
It's been kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's been kind of crazy this year. We're going to do a little wrap up coming up soon about this year in travel.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think 2024 is really going to go down as a banner year for travel for us in so many different locations.
Until 2025.
Yeah.
Never know what's coming. So let's just go over it broadly. We've got 2024. We literally started the year on the road in Seattle. Then we went down to Portland. We had dinner with Laura and Jesse, as you all saw on the channel. That's when we first started planning this adventure that we just came back from.
Yeah.
Then we went down to San Francisco and she found her first glassy baby in the wild.
Yes, I did.
Then we had a whole bunch of back and forths to California, Vegas, all that fun travel. I went to the Caribbean. Then I'm trying to think. Japan would have been next.
Well, even before the Caribbean, we're in Santa Barbara for 2 weeks for the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. That's a big milestone every year in our lives.
Yes. By the way, today's Starbucks is Universal Studios Hollywood. I love this one because it's got the raptor from Jurassic Park on it, one of my favorite films of all time.
Look at this, Judy, welcome. She's having a white Christmas in Massachusetts.
Oh, I love that.
How beautiful.
That's so great. And Barb took out her 3 hedgehog ornaments in our honor.
Thank you, Barb.
Thank you, Barb.
Okay, so
Okay, so we were in Japan.
Japan, that was quite an adventure. We had never been
No.
in that part of the world,
Yeah.
and the Japanese people and the country on the whole were so welcoming and so gracious.
Hmm.
It was just a wonderful experience, beautiful, and we got the kind of the tail end of the cherry blossoms.
Yes. Oh, they were
And we
beautiful.
learned that cherry blossoms come in all different colors, not
Yes.
just white and pink.
Yes. I think, and one of the most fascinating things was we were there for the end of the cherry blossoms, and there was this big rainstorm, and all of them fell down to the ground. So you had the cherry blossoms on the tree, and then you kind of had this carpet of cherry blossoms all over Tokyo.
It was
It was
beautiful.
really something. Yeah.
So after Japan,
We came back from
we're
Japan,
back and forth to Santa Barbara all the
of
time.
course,
That's
which
why
means
we
we get to
always
do all those fun things like Yermo Thrift and More in Los Angeles, and we explored the Pasadena Antique Mall. I remember that. Sherman Oaks Antique Mall. That is a wonderful place, and they are very kind. They shouted us out on their social medias after we filmed with them.
That's great. Now Barb has a question. Let's pray.
Yes.
Question: Where did you get your love of history and pop culture?
I Okay, so a lot of it I will attribute to my grandmother, your mother.
My mama.
When I was growing up, she would always pick me up from school in her beautiful classic Firebird convertible, and we would go to the video store and we would rent a VHS of an old movie, usually like Yankee Doodle Dandy with James Cagney or Casablanca, all these amazing classics, and it just gave me a great appreciation for not only pop culture but also history, because so many of those movies were history based. And
I think I can also say that a lot of it was travel.
oh yeah, a lot of travel. When I was growing up, we went to a lot of museums. I was at the Smithsonian when I was like 12 years old, looking up at the Wright brothers airplane and the glamorous Glennis and Apollo 11, and just all these factors kind of came together, mixed with having a really good memory. I've been blessed with a very good memory, so
Lots
my
of reading.
I can recall facts, so I read voraciously, and yeah, it's just I appreciate it, because I also see that if you don't know your history, then you don't know where you're going.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
So true.
yeah,
But yeah, I
um,
think all those things combined,
yeah.
they say it takes a village. Well, it takes a world, and you've got to introduce the child to the world, I think.
Mm,
We took you everywhere. You went everywhere, even as a little guy.
yeah.
And David too. The boys went everywhere. We traveled a lot, but we were home a lot working, and we worked long, long hours on our business, and we were so grateful to have grandma helping so
She
much.
was fantastic. Yep, and she was, I called her a Hellcat because she was an aeronautical engineer. She worked on the Grumman F6F Hellcat. So when it came to be a filmmaker, my first documentary was about her, and I called it Hellcat because that's what she was.
Yeah.
And if you ever see any of our work, like the documentaries that we've produced or some of our TV shows that are under that label, when it came time for me to name my production company, I named it Hellcat Productions in her honor. So yeah, a lot of it is thanks to her.
Thanks for
And
asking, Barb,
yeah,
and
thank you,
thanks for the
Barb.
compliment. I'm
Yeah,
glad you enjoyed the
I
videos
appreciate
because
that.
he filmed everything. He really did.
Well, and I was so excited. I mean, the fact that we started the trip off with
Here it comes.
me,
Drum roll.
Neuschwanstein.
So it's Svan for swan.
Neuschwanstein, New Swan Stone,
Yes.
is what it
King
translates to.
Ludwig.
King Ludwig II of Bavaria, the last king of Bavaria. Oh, and Sally
Oh,
says your necklace is gorgeous.
thank you. Thank you, Sally. I got this when I was a teenager at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. In they have a fabulous gallery,
Like a boutique.
boutique,
Yeah,
and we can buy reproductions of pieces.
yeah.
So this is I've had this for a long time.
And you've had compliments from people
Yes,
from Central America that it's a
right.
pre-Columbian design.
Pre-Columbian design.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sally. It's very kind. Appreciate that.
Yeah. So yeah, so we got to we were doing the whole lineup of the year. We traveled before, we went to Mexico.
Oh yeah.
We went to Salt Lake City. I missed the big one. Missed the summer. Went to Mackinac Island with
Island.
Jane Seymour,
Oh,
and
that
then we
was
went
so Fun.
to Chicago with that incredible flea market up next to O'Hare Airport.
It's amazing.
We flew to Denver and we went to the Stanley from The Shining.
Up in Estes Park.
Mhm.
What a beautiful area. If anybody knows, it's like Tahoe or
Rocky Mountain National Park.
It's just beautiful up there. Gorgeous town.
And
if you ever get a chance to go, you should absolutely go.
Very true, Barb. Right on the money.
Barb, you're too kind. Thank you.
And then we drove up to Wyoming. We went to a little town called Rollins, and we basically bought out an entire antique store. That literally, as we packed up, the guy called his wife and said, "We're closing for the day." And
they'd like to see me coming.
And then we drove to Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
And then we drove all the way back to Vegas.
Yeah.
Then Mexico. Then Salt Lake City just a few weeks ago, and then this trip
back and forth to Santa Barbara.
Yeah,
endless times,
all the times.
All the times.
Yeah, it's been a
year.
Fun year. I'm going to show you in the episode that'll close out the year for us, our kind of year in review. You're going to see a little map of all the places we've been to, and it's like a Rorschach.
Yeah, it's going to look like
the Jackson Pollock painting of the Earth. But yeah, so this Germany trip, we started at Neuschwanstein, which I have dreamt of visiting my entire life. It is, of course, the castle that inspired Walt Disney to build all of his castles at the theme parks. And
you did a small doc on it.
I did years ago. The host of one of our shows, a fantastic gentleman, had taken his kids there, and he had gotten some great shots of it. So we did a little doc about that. I did a similar thing here, and we'll probably do more about that in the future. I've got a million architectural shots of the castle.
Yeah.
It was really stunning. And Barb says, "I've used the amber fairy lamps the past few nights. They are amazing, so beautiful." It's so great to hear.
I'm so glad you love them, Barb. Those came from Rawlins, Wyoming.
Yes.
In this little sleepy town, they had one of the nicest antique stores I've been in years. And one of them came from that, and the other one came from the first antique store we went to.
Mm-hmm.
So it was there. And I am always looking for fairy lights. And those honey amber ones are so beautiful. And I can never find them. The first one I found, I grabbed it. Then we go into the second one, and there's another one. That hasn't happened before.
Never.
So I'm so thrilled that the two of them got to stay together and that you're enjoying them. Thank you so much, Barb.
It's kind of one of those things where you say, "I haven't seen one of these in a long time," and it shows up.
Exactly.
It's been a long time since I found a first pressing Frank Sinatra record signed by him.
I know.
Yeah. Long time.
It's been a long time since I found a beautiful Batosi cat. Yeah.
It's been a long time since we found a Cartier watch.
Ooh, yeah. Long time since I found some Tiffany.
Been a long time since I've seen another hedgehog.
Well, you're gonna have to go see Barb's tree. There's 3 of them.
That's one of the reasons you are loved so much. The family dynamic is so heartwarming. Thank you,
Sally. We appreciate it. This is who we are.
It is.
This is it. This is who we are. This is it. We couldn't make it up.
Yeah.
We travel out together, and of course, David joins us on many trips and everything.
I don't know if we used this in the episode or not, but I wanted to share this great shot. Look at this. This is in front of the Vienna Town Hall.
Oh, it's almost breathtaking. And I always, when I look back on the videos, I always say, why didn't I explain it better? Because, it's sensory overload sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming at me, and I go, how can I explain this to people?
Yeah.
And I'm used to the imagery speaking for itself.
Well, what was really fascinating about Vienna, too, is that the architecture was so beautiful. It was so antique in its design, but it had a new feel to it because so much of it was rebuilt post-war.
Mm-hmm.
I almost equated it to feeling like I was on a movie set at different times.
It does.
Because everything is so clean. You look at stones and you think those stones should be weathered with 400 or 500 years, but they're really, in truth, only about 65 to 70 years old.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the old buildings are in between somewhere.
Yes.
The ones that got spared.
The very few.
The few.
Vienna was 95% rebuilt after the war.
Amazing.
Yeah, really
Just
incredible.
amazing.
But this right here, we were standing, this was right after we had that delicious apple. Did everyone see the apple?
Oh,
It
that
was
was
like
so
it was
good.
like melting off the core, and we had the cream and the crumble, and you kind of put it all together on the spoon.
It was a
Oh my
baked it was a
goodness.
baked apple,
Yeah.
and it was baked to be extremely soft and
Hmm.
juicy, and then they pour a kind of a vanilla creme sauce around it, and then sprinkle it with their, like, crumbles, like a crumble topping, like on a crumb cake, and you just scoop it all up, and it was just so good. We actually split everything, though, if you notice. Most of the time, we would only get one of an item and split it up because we didn't want to have to eat so much all the time. But it was fun, and we knew from Laura Caldwell that the food is a big part of the
Huge,
Christmas markets.
huge part of it.
In fact, there really are as many food booths as there are items for sale. Food and drink. The glue wine is everywhere.
My favorite one. My favorite one was on the Salzburg day when we took that ferry all the way across the lake. The first one we got to, it was the smallest of all the markets, but it was the quaintest, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And they had a machine, and they would put a potato into it and push it down, and it would spiralize it into potato chips, and then they'd throw it over into the thing, and they'd heat it up,
They
and
fry it.
they'd fry it, and then they would put all the salt on it. It was like the freshest potato chips you could possibly have. And so we had those. Laura had just bought some chestnuts roasting on an open fire, and we all kind of came together, and we were just enjoying these little treats,
Nibbling.
little nibbles.
It's a lot of fun.
I bought some wild Alpen sausage from
You
from
did.
a local family dealer.
You did.
Okay, so what do we have
Let's
here?
catch up.
Okay,
Oh,
Robin says, "Great
aw,
sweater,
thank
thank you." It's my
you.
Star Trek sweater that I always wear. I was recently complimented by some cast members from Star Trek with
Yes,
this, which
yes,
was
you
nice.
were.
That was fun.
No, Robin. We were home a week, I think, before that horrible and unfortunate
Yeah,
incident took place, and it was also in northern
northern.
Germany.
We were down in the
We were
south.
down in the south in Munchen in German, Munich in English. So no, we were not there, and it's so sad. What could be more lovely, innocent, joyful than Christmas markets?
Yeah.
And it's so sad
Hmm.
that it has to have that tainted kind of thing over it.
Phoebe
It's
says it would be so fun traveling with Laura and Jesse. I tell you, Jesse is a hoot.
yeah, oh, Laura's too.
Oh no, no, I'm saying Laura's fabulous. I mean, it's so much fun. But Jesse and I were getting a lot of jokes in,
Oh yeah.
and having a lot of fun. That was great.
And Laura just put out her video
Yes, if you haven't watched it yet, she very kindly she asked us.
for some of our
She
footage.
messaged me the other day and asked us for some of our clips. There was the Great Storm of Salzburg. Let me explain this real quick. So, if you've all seen The Sound of Music, then you know there's Salzburg, Austria, this beautiful, idyllic village, and then there's a big mountain like rock, and on top of it is Salzburg Fortress. You see them dancing by it in all the different shots.
Uh-huh.
It's been there for almost 1,000 years. In like 2 decades, they will be celebrating their 1,000th anniversary of this fortress.
Amazing.
So you have to take this very steep motor car, like almost
It's a tram.
a vertical lift almost,
Right.
that takes you straight up, and it goes really fast. So you go from like ground level to 1,700 feet in 30 seconds.
We filmed it.
And it was like lightly raining out. You can go back and watch the video and all this if you haven't already, but it was like lightly raining. We're all just enjoying it. We got our hoods up, and it's a beautiful winter day with some light mist. You go up 1,700 feet, and it was a wind and rainstorm, and we all walked out, and Laura's scarf flew off the side of the mountain, and I'm holding on to my phone for dear life. I thought my phone was going to go flying up into the air.
I think that was some of the strongest wind I have ever personally been in.
Never felt that before.
I
That
thought,
was
it
it felt
was-
like hurricane.
Felt like Twister.
Yeah, it was crazy. So we all get out there, and we're like, okay, whatever, we're gonna have fun with this. We all started taking selfies and laughing and yelling in the rain. It was great.
Thank you, Barb.
Oh, thank you, Barb.
Yeah, it was so fun. And since William was filming it, Laura asked for some of the footage. We gave her to, and
So
you'll
if you
see
watch
it in
her
both
episode,
videos.
so if you watch her episode that premiered yesterday, you can see the Picker Road cam, and then we also, I believe, she used some of our footage from the farewell dinner
For
as
the fair, I
well.
think
So
you were the only one filming.
she was doing the toast, so she couldn't be filming while toasting and everything. So that was very nice. We had just so much fun. That beer house for the farewell dinner.
Oh, so good. I just want to address Sally.
Yes.
What was that fast in real time? The wind?
Oh no,
Yes.
no, no. The ride on the carriage. I think I sped it up a little bit.
Did you?
It's I think
fast.
it's like 15 seconds in the video, but it's really only about 30 seconds in real life. It is
Feliz
very
Navidad.
your ears pop as you're going in. Yeah, it was so much fun.
Thank you, Ruby. How sweet.
Thank you. Thank you all so much for
No,
the kind
no, it was
comments.
funny, Barb. It was crazy.
By the way,
Yeah.
if you haven't, and if you feel so inclined, there should be a little thing down here with a thumbs up on it. Just click that, please. The more of you that do that, the more Google enjoys our videos and
Yes.
lets people know to come on over.
Thank you.
We
Appreciate it.
rapidly approaching 7,000 subscribers, and that means so much to us.
It really does.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
We will get there.
We'll get there.
Yes. The winter market in Salzburg, my goodness, it was huge, it was expansive, and we were there on St. Nicholas Day. So St. Nicholas Day is one day every December where they have a gentleman dressed up as St. Nicholas of Myra, Santa Claus, in the traditional sense, not like the ho 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 character that Coca-Cola has pioneered.
No, he looks very European.
This was a European saint with a what is it, a martyr?
A mitre.
A mitre.
A mitre, like a cardinal.
And he walks around and he keeps banishing Krampus. So they had multiple people there dressed as Krampus, who's kind of like the anti-Santa. He's the goblin who comes and is mean to the children,
little children
who have been bad. So this is called the Krampus Run. And they had Krampuses running around and wreaking havoc and scaring children. It's so funny because the kids are like, eh, or they're like, ha ha.
Yeah, some of them are pretty sophisticated.
Yeah.
But Krampus has a long tail, and kind of like almost a horse's tail at the end, and he drags us through the mud and then flings it on you.
Yeah, that was not fun. That part was not fun.
That part is not fun.
But yeah, it was. How long was the trip? So we were there for a total of 10 days.
10 days.
Yes.
Because we went early with Laura and Jesse to say it.
Neuschwanstein.
Someday we'll get it right.
I have not made the hedgehog cookies yet. I have my little cookie cutter, and I
haven't had a time yet.
I knew that this year it would probably be too tight to do Christmas cookies because we had all the travel. But next year we're going to be home for the holidays.
We absolutely want to be home for the holidays.
There will be cookies.
It was wonderful, but there's nothing like being. Well, of course we're home now. We would never be away for the actual holiday because of David. He didn't come with us.
Around here, we just have a day of drunk Santas in New York.
Ho ho ho!
Rum rum rum. No, it was just so great. The Krampus run was great, and the market, that market was wonderful. We had an absolutely fantastic time
that was
at
really,
that market.
That was
a lot of the really good German and Austrian handmade wares there. You got those beautiful fairy lamps
That's
that have
the fairy lamps.
all sold out at this point. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could have gotten 10 of them, but I was so concerned about the suitcases and everything because it's not just a matter of getting it in the suitcase. It's packing it and wrapping it so that it makes it home. And I am very happy and proud to say everything made it home.
Everything.
Not one item got broken or anything. So I'm really, really pleased with that.
We've had some practice.
We've had, just a little bit, right? But everything made it home to you guys. And we talk about making it home. I was really excited in Laura's video, the antique store, our last night in Salzburg, the antique store right near our hotel that we all went to.
Yes.
She did a long shot of the plate that I purchased.
Yes.
That blue plate.
Very Chagall-esque.
It's Chagall. It looks like it has almost mermaids on it. and I was really proud because we weren't side by side. We each did it at different times, but we both zeroed in on that plate.
And you ended
And
up
I
buying
ended
it.
up buying it.
Yeah.
She had passed on. She had bought something else. I think
Yes.
she bought a couple of vases or something. But
She
then
was saying what you were saying. She was worried about trying to get it home in
I
one
know
piece,
I
but
did.
we had a plan.
I did. It's on pickerroad.com right now.
Yes.
Love that plate. The color on that plate is gorgeous.
I tell you, the gentleman who was running that shop was
So funny.
central casting. It's like I need a Viennese antique shop owner who looks a bit like Sigmund Freud.
And that was him with his little dog tied up
With the
behind
little
desk.
dog behind the desk.
So sweet.
And he comes up and says, "How may I help you, Mom?"
And then he wrapped everything up for me. And oh, it's just such a lovely exchange. I love when we can have that kind of exchange in another country.
Yes.
And represent America, in a very, very good, positive manner. Let's see. I'd be drinking soda with you, Harleen. The hardest day was on credit. Each booth was better than the last. Laura got me hooked on wooden bowls.
Aw. Now, the one thing I will say about that Salzburg food, oh my goodness, I wish I could go back and get another one of those pizza pretzels.
Pizza pretzels.
The pizza pretzels.
There.
So they're soft pretzels like this thick, this wide, and they would be topped with cheese and then different kind of pizza toppings. So I had a cheese and bacon one with some little onion sprinkles on it for this big a piece, like
Huge.
the size of a small pizza. It was €5.
And all the food is not that inexpensive.
No, but it was only €5.
Gary chose. See, we each wanted something different, but they were too big for each person.
Yes.
I unfortunately I couldn't even finish a part of mine, but I wanted the one that had the almonds and something else on it. It just looked delicious.
So Ruby,
and Gary wanted the olives.
Ruby is asking, overall, how were the prices?
Overall, the prices were okay. In the Christmas markets, you definitely know that the artisans are looking to make a good chunk of their yearly income at these Christmas markets. That's probably the big deal for them for the year. So the prices are they're a little bit high.
Yeah.
It's not high just to buy it. It's high if you're looking to be a reseller.
Right.
But I didn't care. I was determined to get everything. And
the way that we looked at it is that we were curating these items that,
right.
I mean,
that's just the Christmas markets.
Yeah.
Those are the new items.
Right.
On the antique store that we went to, all the antique stores we went to, the prices were up there. They were not cheap. Definitely up there. But I curated the really good items and I brought them. I wanted them.
Yes.
As you can see, I don't know if no, it's not. You can't see it in our last video. The Richard Roja Austrian
the
cat.
Yes.
It's I got him for me. And I had to pay up for him. But so the prices were high in the stores. The one place that we got good deals were in the thrift store that we went to.
Carla.
Carla.
Yes.
Where we went through the plastic. It was like plastic.
Yeah.
Hanging.
It looked like a factory
sheets.
almost.
It's like when you go in. Honestly, it looks like when you go into a butcher.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Like a meat factory.
Meat factory. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you go in there, and I did get some nice things. It's still more expensive, I would say, for the good stuff.
Oh, we would love that. We would love that. You're in. Oh, so if you visit family in Munich, we would love that.
Aww.
It was so wonderful. It really was.
We didn't go to the Passion Play, but what we did go to, of course, was the concert in Vienna.
So this concert group, this 6-piece group plus 2 singers, are apparently, from what Laura and Jesse were telling us, they are incredibly popular in South Korea. I guess for some reason, they became like one of the preeminent classical music groups that South Korean folk listen to. So they now perform almost every weekend in Vienna, and we were very fortunate to catch that performance. Laura had arranged that we could get in the front row so we could film it and
Our tour
everything.
guide Vanessa set it all up.
Yeah, and it was just wonderful. She was the lead of the group. She was a maestro. She was absolutely fantastic playing the violin. And then they had two opera singers, a woman and a gentleman. And I'm trying to remember, somebody asked in the questions what he was singing about. I'm not sure if you're in right now watching, but the song he was singing was from Barber of Seville. So I believe he was singing about being a barber.
Yes.
And the question is, were we near the Black Forest? I don't believe it.
I don't think so.
I don't believe it qualified as the Black Forest. The closest we were to any kind of forest was when we were at the castle, because we were up there a little bit more. And from the balcony of the castle, as you could see in that one shot, you could see.
Oh, you don't have that shot, do you? That's probably too hard to get.
I don't believe I have it on here.
Well, it's on the video.
You can see the Swiss Alps.
The panoramic view from that one balcony. We all just ran there at sunset, and we were pretty lucky because there was only a few other people there, and then they kind of cleared out, and it was just us and just William, Gary, and I got it. Laura and Jesse, and also Brian and Heather, who are their friends from Portland, who were
first of all. Look at this. That's the view.
That's the view. It almost doesn't do it justice.
Yeah, but you see the Alps there with the sunset, and then here was our fun group shot, which was just fantastic because you were literally on the balcony.
Merry Christmas, live, love, laugh.
That Ludwig II himself would stand on, and right under my finger there, you see that castle in the distance. That was his mother's castle, which is Hohenbrauschwau, I believe. I'm sure
you can do it, honey.
I'm butchering these. I apologize.
We apologize.
But it was really incredible because our hotel was based in between the two of them, so our window overlooked that castle, and then you saw there was the picture that I took of them standing on the balcony waving, where you could see Neuschwanstein in the background, and that was just amazing. We had a few minutes before we were meeting Laura and Jesse for lunch, and I wanted to walk down to the lake and get some shots, of the lake.
Yes.
And I turn around and I look up and I see the window of our room, and then I see the castle back there. So I called her up and I said, "Go out on the balcony. It's so beautiful. It's so cool." And they didn't realize it. I didn't tell them why. I just said, "I'm getting a shot of you on the balcony." So I get back up to the room and I show them that the castle was right behind them.
That was a
lot of fun. Harleen, do you know the vintage jewelry mark of Monet? I have inherited some amazing pieces, but they don't seem to be popular here in the UK, only the States.
Well, Sally, I'm not an expert in Monet, but I can recognize it. It's always written out rather than just say like an M. The Monet, it's sometimes usually in a circle. It's got different forms of font for it. It's popular. It is popular. It is popular here. I'm surprised it's not popular in the UK because the formalities to wear a brooch on a if you have a brooch or a necklace, little formal dress wear. There's nothing like Google image search.
Right.
I tell you something. Do you explain that? I'm sure everybody knows. But
I will. I just want to say thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate that. Ronnie has a Star Trek logo.
All right.
And I got my Star Trek Christmas sweater on. This is from Made from Beyond. They do really fun pop culture Christmas sweaters.
Oh, Barb, you're too kind.
So Google Image, you can it's pre-installed on most phones, I think now at this point. You can just click to the camera mode, take a picture of something, and then it'll actually use that image to make the search, which is really helpful, really informative.
And it helps you see all the different marks on things.
Exactly.
And get an idea.
Or sometimes if things aren't marked, it can give you a good sense of what it is too. Kind of use the wisdom of the crowd.
Right.
So Ruby Red is asking, did I find any LPs or collectibles of my choice? Yes. So as you saw in the video, I bought that incredible binder of vintage film programs. Now, I decided to offer some of them on Picker Road, and quite a few of them have sold. There's a few more on there still.
Mhm.
I have kept a few of them. There's some original Alfred Hitchcock ones. There's one from Singing in the Rain with Gene Kelly on the cover. There's an original Brigadoon with Gene Kelly on the cover. Just really some phenomenal ones in there. But I am selling some of those, and then some other ones I'm going to frame up and I'm going to put them in Antique Alley because the artwork on them are just fantastic.
Absolutely.
As far as vinyls go, I did not actually get an opportunity to find any vinyl dealers until the last day. And I did purchase one vinyl. I was hoping maybe I would get, because it's, Germany, I was hoping I'd maybe find one of the early Beatles ones, since they, were so famously performed in Germany in their early years. I ended up, of all the vinyls I bought the soundtrack to the Rocky Horror Picture Show, but it was a really fun German printing with a great shot of Tim Curry on the cover.
Now, are you keeping that?
I kept that.
You're
I
gonna
kept
keep
that.
that.
Yeah. So my rule is now I have so many vinyls that when one goes in, one has to come out. But the lucky thing is I already had a copy of that. It was an American copy, so I pulled that one out and put it in its place.
All right.
And now I've got one with a story behind it.
We don't really buy a lot for ourselves.
Not really.
I'm trying to use every inch of space to bring stuff home to you guys.
Yeah.
So
So that's Barb's next question. What
Yeah.
did each of us bring back for our personal collection? So that was me. I got some film programs and one vinyl.
and I brought back my it's what would you say? It's about 10 inches high.
I think so.
It's the black iron, almost looks like a bossy, but
Mhm.
it's not. It's by Austrian metal artist, sculptor, Richard Roha, Rohac, I believe, Rohac. And it's an amazing cat. It's really fun. It's mid-century.
It is.
It's
So
60s,
cool.
and it's just an amazing cat. And I hang my watch on it at night.
Yeah. And of course, if you watched the video, then you saw we did get a uranium piece for Gary's glow glass
I
bowl.
did.
It was a beautiful set of 6 small glasses with a chrome and glass holder.
And it's from the 60s.
Yeah.
And I had to pay up for that
Paid
too.
up for it.
But it made it home perfectly.
Yeah. Well, and if you saw in the video, the shop that it came from, that shop was really something. That shop not only produced my film programs, your cat, the uranium glass, but Laura scored her Batosi horse there. And I'll tell you, I was standing right next to her when she saw it in the window, and she almost like yelped for joy when she saw it. It was one of those like, please, everyone, just get out of my way for a second. Oh my God, I don't care what he's asking. I have to take this home moments.
But I think she got it.
She got an incredible price on it.
She got a good price on it.
Yeah.
And you helped her look it up.
I did a little Google search on it and everything.
Yeah.
It was really something. I'm so happy she got that after looking for that for all those years.
Well, she has, as she has said, she has a I don't want to say fake. What is a reproduction? A reproduction in her collection that she's going to switch out for this one, she said.
Frady Cat Jen, that is an interesting question, and it's something we all think about. It's
yeah, I see.
Yeah, they do. It's the exact same speed. It's no different. It was kind of in the like CD and digital era that changed, where they went on to a different style program. But vinyls anywhere will play on a proper vinyl player.
Wow.
Sally says, I have so many uranium glass pieces, but how the heck can I get them to you? Well, that's very
Sally,
kind.
You're so sweet.
Just send us an email, pickerroadlv@gmail.com, and we'll talk about it. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Easy. Picker Road LV for Las Vegas at Gmail.
That's very kind.
Very
very kind. We had a wonderful friend and viewer in Santa Barbara. She's in one of the classic antique malls in town, so she's a picker and she finds things and everything. She gave us this fabulous collection
Gary with
of uranium glass that is now available.
Some custard pieces.
Yes.
Yeah, really, really nice. Thank you.
I've got to say, that is part of this year's journey that we started the Glow Glass Gold.
Yeah, I know.
It's only been about 6 months trying to raise $10,000, and it's really, I think, incredible.
We're over 3,000, right?
right on the edge of it. We haven't done an update because we've had all these big travel videos, but you'll see everyone watching now is getting a bit of an exclusive. You will see an update that on the next video.
Yeah, what are we up to?
Let's check the number. It is right under. We are so close. We are at. Oh, I'm sorry. We hit it. We're at $3,009. So that will be the next update.
That's exciting.
Can you believe that?
Gary's going to be starting to go out in the next month or so and start looking at cars.
Yeah.
Just to get an idea of what he can get and start that journey, that leg of the journey.
And there's plenty of pieces available still in there.
Yeah.
But that and
the other thing
I want to say about that little antique store is it was the size of a postage stamp,
and we're all piled in
and like 20 of us piled in at one moment. And again, guy out of Central Casting for a European antique store owner, he kind of looks up from his desk and just sees this wave of people coming in all at once. I think he closed the shop after that, after we all left.
We seem to close down every place we go.
The Batosi's gone. The movie programs are gone. The Iron Cats are gone. The uranium glass is gone. I'm going to go have a schnitzel.
It was the only uranium glass in the store.
It was the only piece in the store.
And that was the only Batosi horse. It was the only Richard Rohack.
Yeah, it was the only piece of pop culture. And there was a very antique focused store. And of course, I smelled out the one piece of pop culture in there. I didn't even realize what it was. I just saw a binder on the shelf, and I went in closer, and I saw the word Kino on the side of it. Now, Kino is European cinema. Kino International would distribute American films in Europe. And I pulled it out, and I opened it up, and the first program on the cover was Tony Curtis. I didn't even know which film it was because it was all in German, but I'm flipping through it and I'm starting to see Disney, and I'm starting to see Alfred Hitchcock, and I'm seeing the coronation of Queen Elizabeth. I'm realizing these are all from the 50s and 60s.
What was that? The coronation?
Oh, it was a documentary on the coronation of Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, my goodness.
For those of you who know my best friend Tyler, he's a huge Anglophile, so that was part of my Christmas present to him. I gave him that one.
How nice.
Yeah.
How nice.
Was his name Clarence? Like so
Barb. Kind, so kind.
Yeah.
Sally, that's very kind. Like a certain movie. Yeah, I know.
Clarence. I want to live again. Well, Mary, that's my wife.
Here it comes.
Well, you're just a work frustrated old man.
We're reenacting It's a Wonderful Life. but all in all, the trip
Happy
was
New Year to you in jail.
The trip was pretty.
It was
amazing,
magical, yeah.
Because you're just thrown into such a different world.
It got cold.
I was so cold.
Oh my goodness, it was cold. You saw that we had our heated jackets.
Yeah, engage.
Yeah.
You press the button on this jacket.
Mm-hmm.
You have two settings. You have warm and darn, it's cold outside.
Yeah.
That's the heavy setting.
The coldest that we got
so cold.
Was as we were finishing up on the lakes. We were waiting for the ferry to come back. So we were right there next to the lake, and the wind was coming off the Alps and blowing at us, and we were all bundled up. We had put our scarves over our faces and everything. I'll show you.
Oh no,
that's funny.
I probably look like something out of Star Wars.
It's me.
But it was so cold, and the minute we got on the boat,
that's how cold it got.
Yeah, you're not in Vegas anymore, Toto.
Yeah.
The minute we got on the ferry, we ordered hot chocolates. It's interesting because everywhere we went, if we had a hot chocolate, they serve it to you in a glass.
Yes.
A tall,
very, very thick glasses.
A tall, thin glass with whipped cream on top. But it was warming to the heart. It was wonderful.
The jet lag wasn't that bad. We got over it relatively quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say we're doing okay.
Thank you, Georgia.
Merry Christmas. Aw.
Yeah, we didn't have a chance to think about jet lag. We're on the run, on the go.
Yeah.
On the go.
It was something.
It really was.
Yeah, it was really everything about it was just amazing. And then we had this wonderful farewell dinner at the beer house where we all had schnitzel, and you had a soda, but we all had our big steins of beer. That was so good. There's the beer that's made in Salzburg. It's called Stiegel, It's kind of like I guess what you would say like Budweiser is here because it's everywhere. Every single restaurant has a Stiegel neon sign outside of it. But it was really something. The thing about the Matterhorn, Barb, is I was so decked out in the winter wear. They had rented a ski suit for me that I was warm and toasty up there.
Yeah, that was professional
Yeah,
Matterhorn
it
gear
was it
that they
was
put him in.
real alpine gear because we weren't doing anything where we went actually like onto a mountain. I didn't wear any ski related stuff, so this time I definitely felt colder.
Yeah.
But it was all worth it because it was so much fun. And part of the whole idea of the Christmas markets, the winter markets, is if as soon as you get cold, you go get a hot glass of mulled glue wine, or you get a hot baked potato and you just stand there eating it and it warms you up, and then you go back to your shopping.
Yes, absolutely. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. The food was everywhere.
it was.
So we didn't even begin to get everything.
Yeah.
We couldn't. Well, you have to choose your line. You have to
Mm-hmm.
choose your line, which line
Yep.
you plant your flag in.
Yep.
But there's so much everywhere. So we had to try to pick and choose what we wanted to split, and
And I would
what
say
tasted good.
I would say too, people, the vendors were very generous with the samples too, so that you could pick what you wanted. Like I was saying at that one little one at the end of the lake, I really wanted to bring something back for my brother David since he wasn't able to go on the trip with us. So I wanted to bring back something a little exotic. So they had wild alpine sausage, and I did a little charcuterie tasting group before I decided which one we were going to take back. And tomorrow afternoon, we are going to have a little family charcuterie. You bought the cheese,
I bought some
I
cheese.
bought the sausage. We bought some little bottles of Viennese like Kirsch, which is a cherry liqueur, and then an apricot one, and then I got an apple liqueur from the shop, the boutique inside Neuschwanstein. So we're gonna have a little Christmas afternoon tasting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Where was I when you were tasting the charcuterie
You
board?
were over with okay, so you and Laura were doing the chestnuts and the potatoes. I got those
Okay.
shots of you guys enjoying that, and then I turned and saw it, and I said, "I'll be right back," and I went and I went over to that.
Okay, there we
Yeah, it
go.
was so great.
The markets were very inviting. And it's sensory overload
Hi,
because
Claudette.
it's
Merry
all the
Christmas.
smells too.
Merry Christmas, Claudette. Ho ho ho.
It's the smell of the cinnamon and anything that's being cooked and
Oh,
roasted, and
so the
just
glue wine. The glue
yes.
wine, which is GLUE with like the little dots on top of it, wine.
Uh-huh.
It's not glue. It's not
Mhm.
made of glue. But it's delicious. So it comes in red wine, white wine, apple cinnamon, or fruit punch. And that smell, you get the four of them, and they just start wafting over. Oh my goodness. It was so good. Sally says, have to share, just lost the phone in the duvet briefly, and my husband said, why can I hear that Picker Road family you always watch talking? Hi, Sally's
Oh,
husband.
hi,
Merry
Sally's
Christmas.
husband.
Merry
We're here.
Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
How many were in your group? I travel extensively, haven't been there, cold weather, and I do get don't do get along too well, although I'm an avid skier. We had about 20, I'd say, maybe a little
Is that
under.
about it?
Yeah, including us and Laura and Jesse.
And then our
It
guide.
was a very intimate group, which was so nice.
Yes.
Yeah. And everyone like-minded pickers, going to shops, people who enjoy that antiquing and everything.
Absolutely.
Like I said, every time we went to a shop, we kind of descended upon it, and these poor older European antique dealers, at first they're kind of overwhelmed, and then they realize they're about to make a whole bunch of sales, and they go, "Yay!"
The landscape was beautiful. I almost cried with joy.
Oh,
Oh,
Georgia,
Georgia.
so
I'm
glad.
glad. That was our goal.
Yeah,
Our goal was to share it with each and every one of you, so you kind of felt like you were along with us.
exactly.
You know, and but traveling in the winter is not easy. You have to really get
Oh
around, and
yeah.
it's cold, but I think it's worth it, and you can see the amazing sights and tastes and smells and sounds, and everything. We went over it fast, but one of my highlights was that concert in
Oh,
Vienna.
yeah.
We were in the front row, and it was just amazing. The acoustics in this room, you felt like you were in another time. It was
Barb.
just wonderful. What did you do?
My husband came in and said, "You can watch Picker Road, but you're spending my retirement."
Ah, hey, hey, we're just having fun here.
Hmm.
But the concert was
The concert was just incredible.
it
The
was
atmosphere of it. They were doing what they were doing was a journey through classical music.
right.
Obviously, they started with Mozart,
Yes.
but then they went back and they did opera, they did Puccini, they did Strauss, they did Beethoven. It was just a phenomenal collection, the way that they curated the performances, and they're, it's true performance too, because they were doing, when they got up to like the waltzes, like Strauss, the Blue
Uh-huh.
Danube and everything. Those waltzes actually have cues in them where the orchestra has to do certain movements. So there would be like one where they're doing a very fast kind of staccato beat, and then the violinist would stand up and then sit back down with the beat,
Yes.
and then the cello player would stand up and sit down with the beat. So they were they were performing along with it, and then the opera singers were waltzing through the room.
And they were
Every
top notch.
everything about it was
Top
just
notch.
fantastic.
And we were right there. You felt it was such a personal experience to be
Yeah.
that up close with them. And
Merry Christmas,
it was
Maxine.
just gorgeous. Hi, Maxine.
Good to see you.
Oh, Virginia, I'm so glad you loved the concert too. It was just a highlight. The room was just phenomenal. The high ceilings and the walls and the gold and the
That
chandeliers.
heater in the corner. It's like an old stove heater that would heat the room in ancient days. It looks like it hasn't been used in 200 years.
It was just
Yeah.
a really, really nice experience.
Yeah, so
It
much
was
fun.
a lot of fun. A lot of
Yeah.
fun. So
And then I'm trying to remember. There was one other thing in Vienna, or no, I'm sorry, it was in Salzburg. The what's the name of the beer house? What was it? It was
oh gosh, in Salzburg where we had dinner.
yes.
Oh, isn't that awful? Bayer?
It's in the video.
It's in the video. We
It
have
was
to
only
watch
2
our own
weeks ago,
video.
but
It's so much to remember.
That place was great because that has been continuously operated since 1907, and it was so good. They do a special Christmas beer that they only brew during December.
And you and Dad really enjoyed that.
We enjoyed that. We had a couple of those. They had a Viennese sausage appetizer that was served in a what was that?
It is a goulash.
A goulash sauce. So you had the bowl of goulash. I had the sausage with the goulash sauce, and Dad tasted one bite of that,
He wanted
and
another
he said,
one.
"All right, I'm ordering one of those, please."
And he doesn't usually do that. He
And
ordered two.
then schnitzel,
Yes.
the proper Austrian schnitzel.
So good. So good. They serve it with parsley potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can have mashed potatoes. You can have, whatever you want. You can have, they do make fries there,
Mm-hmm.
but just we had so many different flavors and
Yeah.
tastes, and it was really lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely food.
Oh, Judy and her late husband visited the Black Forest.
Oh, how nice, Judy. I hope you have wonderful memories of
Yeah.
it. And I hope that maybe our little trip triggered some of those beautiful memories.
Yeah.
So
like I said, the closest we got, I think, to the Black Forest was when we were at the castle. And
somebody else said no, it was another.
It's a different one?
Different.
Okay.
Different.
But I will say, when we woke up the morning after the castle and it was snowing out,
yeah,
the view of the village with the snow, with Christmas trees lit up. Oh my goodness, it was just beautiful. It was I'm from Southern California. I know that people, snow is a bit of a burden for people who see it every year.
Well,
but
it is
for
if you have to
me,
shovel it.
For me, when I see it, once every few years and it's, falling down on my nose, then it's something a little magical, and it was really something else. I took a walk before our drive back to Munich, and I was just walking through the snow, looking up, and it's dropping on my glasses, and it was so great. It was so much fun.
Yeah, it was nice. We sat there and had breakfast next to a window.
Hmm.
You could see the castle
That
and see the snow coming down as the sun rose.
that hotel, it was called
Amaran.
Amaran. They're exclusively in Germany and Austria, but they're in all the major cities,
Wonderful.
and then in some few of the rural areas. If you are ever going there, you have to check out Amaran. It was so wonderful.
It's a really nice
One
hotel.
of the best breakfasts I've ever had at a hotel.
Amazing buffet breakfast of all sorts of German delicacies, and you have a chef standing right there making you eggs or whatever you would
And
like.
Laura was saying her favorite thing about it was that they had a proper honeycomb
Mhm.
that was like the box honeycomb, and you could take the serving
Scoop.
spoon, scoop it up, and put it on your plate, and it was the
delicious.
freshest honey.
Absolutely delicious.
Yeah.
All sorts of baked goods,
Hmm.
and it was just absolutely fabulous. Delicious.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Now, I gotta say we got about 5 to 10 more minutes. So if anybody has any questions, let us know. We are just so grateful for each and every one of you.
Thank you guys so much
Yeah.
for sharing this with us. We really appreciate you caring. Caring and sharing. There we go.
There it is.
There we are. I think that was the last night.
That was the last night. That
Yeah,
was
that was
so
a
much
lot
fun.
of fun. A lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Yeah.
We had a great time, and that it was a lovely way to wrap 2024.
Really?
And now we're looking to the future.
Ah.
There's a lot of plans in the works.
Mm.
So we're really looking forward to, for sure. We know we're going to Catalina Island.
Yep.
We've wanted to get there for a long time.
I will be exploring a different leg of the Caribbean early in the year.
Yes,
and
you'll
then
be doing that
and then we'll all be exploring another leg of it later in the year.
later in the year. So and there's so much more.
There's so much more coming. The new studio, yes, I think we
Yes.
talked about it last time. We are still waiting. We're still waiting on them. They got to dig up the ground and they've got to run new wires in. We're hoping it's soon. We're ready. We can't wait to share it with you.
When we were in there,
Yeah.
we've moved our entire shipping facility there.
Yeah.
Our staging facility is there. All of the product is there. Everything is there. We just can't set up the studio portion for filming until the internet is in.
Mhm.
So, but it's working. We absolutely love it. It's a wonderful, beautiful place. Beautiful, beautiful studio and facility for us, and we absolutely love it.
Can't wait
But
to share it
we
with
just
you.
we just want to complete the journey.
Yes.
And get the filming done there.
Thank you for saying that, Georgia. I appreciate that. I got a
sweet.
lot of people to thank for that. Sitting next to them.
You,
You.
infinity.
Brody.
Oh, guys, thank you so much for showing up today. We really
Yeah.
appreciate it.
When does the next show happen on? Well, as always, we are always Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. I'll tell you, starting on Thursday and going through Sunday, we have a two-parter for you from thanks to all of you. When we picked the Sherman Oaks Antique Mall earlier this year, we got several comments from you saying you have to check out King Richard's in Whittier. And so we just got that the other day. So our next two parts are going to be exploring King Richard and Whittier.
Place
it is huge.
amazing.
You may recognize it from the TV show Storage Wars. They've featured that on there many times. And my best friend Tyler joined us for that. So there's
amazing.
a lot of great history there. We get to nerd out on some presidential autographs dating back to Harry Truman.
And I got so many beautiful little treasures.
And we got some great treasures. So you will see that you'll see part 1 Thursday, part 2 on Sunday, and then the following Tuesday is New Year's Eve. That is our big year wrap up. We're going to revisit some moments. We're going to show you some moments you never saw before. And we've got so much coming in 2025.
We're so excited and so positive for the new year.
When is the Northeast Picker Road Groupie Tour?
As soon as we can get it together.
Coming soon.
We cannot wait. I'm really want to do it this year.
Yes.
Next year. In
2025.
Absolutely. I'm dying to get up there.
Yes.
And do our thing, Barb.
Mm-hmm.
Do our thing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you all so much. And Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. However you are celebrating, thank you for joining us and celebrating with us.
Thank you
And
for being on this crazy journey with us.
yeah,
And it's only going to get better. We're only going to have more fun. And I know Gary also wishes you each and oh, here he comes.
here he
I'm
is.
not wearing a microphone, but I'm coming in to say thank you all for the glowy love and wishing you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Oh, sweetie. He's so sweet. He's such a sweet guy. Wishing everyone a wonderful, peaceful, and joyous Christmas. Yes,
Yes.
our sentiments exactly, Sally. Thank you all for touching in with us today. It makes our Christmas complete. We just wanted to have one more touch in with you guys. And we wish each and every one of you joy and peace and love. And we're going to have a fantastic 2025. All of us, we're all on this journey together. No one is alone. We are all together. And we love you. We love you. And we love that you guys have joined the journey. Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.